And this becomes clear with the final tweet that Shoe made on this subject. You can see the tweet here, but what I'm more invested in is the responses that it...
Oh wait, you didn't read it.
Yeah,
Wait, what was the tweet?
That tweet is...
Omni Sam says, you don't have to bust out a data sheet to explain why fucking a horse is bad, you brainlet. You have to provide an actual argument instead of just saying horse fucking bad.
Yeah, and they cut off the rest of the tweet. See how there's dots?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What was the rest of it?
And I don't remember, but it was like...
Did they delete the tweet?
Yeah, of course.
They deleted it.
I think I could find it on my phone. I probably screen capped it.
I just love the incredible discourse here.
The rest of the tweet, I think was like, yeah, you have to bust out a data sheet, something like that. Like you have to.
So did he bring the argument on why horse fucking is totally correct? Did he?
No.
Did he school you on the horse fucking argument?
No, they didn't.
What
they
are
had
those
like
three dots?
They had like a mental breakdown for like 3 days after that, and like locked their account. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Because they dared to respond to them.
The average Twitter user.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Oh shit! It's so bad.
You got to evolve past that.
You can't do anything without just an incredible guilt complex. It's so I can't imagine being in your shoes.
It's funny because like
it's demoralizing.
It's like I get really heated on Twitter and I fight with people, but the second someone shows like an ounce of emotion, I like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, holy fuck. It's like all of a sudden they become human to me. I'm like, oh my god. They could be
concerned trolling you. You have no idea.
It works though. Like if someone, as soon as they bust out like, I'm having a bad day, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like,
you're ready for MMA here, and they're showing up and going, oh, I know. You really hurt me.
Though.
It's Twitter. I'm supposed to hit you. Stand up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of like if you go on 4chan, there's like an idea of how you're supposed to reply to things. You're not supposed to reply to things like normally. You're supposed to like phrase things in very specific and dismissive or derisive ways. And I think on Twitter, it's sort of like a lot of people view Twitter the same way. I'm supposed to engage in Twitter.
That's how I engage with Twitter. And
right, exactly.
Maybe that's why I'm getting this shit all the time.
And then when someone is interacting with you and that they have a different understanding of how how they're supposed to interact on Twitter, and then they say, oh, I'm feeling bad about this. You're suddenly like, oh shit, they're playing a different game than I'm playing.
Yeah, like we're not doing the banter thing. This person's like having a hard time.
Yep.
Yeah.
They still cry wolf a lot too, though.
That's
like
true.
That's the only thing they were looking forward for you to quote tweet, and they can be like, oh,
it always works for me. Literally, when I get in a fight with somebody and there's this small account that's like, I'm being dogpiled and blah blah blah, I always delete my tweet. I'm just like, I just feel so bad. Like it's like a cry bully thing, right?
I don't shoot because how will they learn?
But it's just like, oh man, okay, yeah. And sometimes they're like much younger. They're like 20 years old, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Just start responding. Like, delete your account. That's a response you should give them. Shoot.
It's funny. Like the older I get, the more I become like. So now I kind of look at it like, okay, this person's like 19 years old, right? Yeah. And I'm like I'm in a fight with them. If I was their parent and I looked online and there was like a 30-year-old woman coming at my kid, I'd be like, what the fuck? And now I get like, and I kind of like get out of my mind, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is weird. Like I shouldn't be fighting with these people. So like I guess I've matured a little bit, but like, yeah.
you've matured by saying these people are beneath me. These children.
Young, and it's just like, okay, they'll grow out of this in like 3 years. Like
that's right, and that's why 12-year-olds should not be allowed to vote.
They shouldn't be allowed on Twitter, for fuck's sake.
That's true too.
I'd let them vote, but I wouldn't let them on Twitter. How about that?
The fact that Twitter is like 13 plus and there's porn on it just is very weird to me.
Oh yes, totally weird. Yeah. Awful.
Dude, I got like I followed an account once that just the following day was just them naked, and I was like,
I didn't realize this is where I signed up for.
I follow a whole bunch of like sex worker type people, but I have to mute them because if I'm in public scrolling through my timeline, like you just see an ass and it's like, oh shit. Sorry, people behind me at Dunkin' Donuts. Like,
child behind me at Dunkin' Donuts.
You're spicing up someone's day, all right? Like a little surprise.
Staring at your phone like I don't remember consenting, but
exactly.
That's what you know the meme where it's like I consent and then Jesus is like, but I don't.
I don't.
It's like I consent and there's a person looking over your shoulder at your phone like, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Invested in is the responses that it got. Debate culture and its consequences have been a disaster for the left.
Kinda.
Combos like that tell me there are some sick people in the world. If I was in a face-to-face conversation and had to tell somebody why they shouldn't do that to a horse, I'd just leave and then tell people that person wants to fuck a horse.
Okay.
That person like went off.
Right. But see, this is his
Zero
motivation.
punctuation.
I was going to say, with how long this was already, it's like, this isn't going to be insightful. It's going to be weird.
I think it's a boomer too, because look at that smiley face at the end.
Yeah.
Are you not allowed to do the crying laughing emoji?
No,
What's the rules here?
You can, but it's usually every time like a big conservative account will retweet me, like a whole bunch of MAGA boomers and like QAnon people will come in and like they always use the crying emoji. So automatically my mind is associated with like boomers with that emoji. So I don't know.
How is bestiality as bad controversial? Why would one need to even elaborate on that? Me?
Okay. So he's presenting these as though it's like, look at what you have wrought, Shoe0nhead. It's like, these are perfectly reasonable responses as far as I'm
very these are normal people. These are normal everyday people.
Which I didn't want to pull that card early. I'm guessing you guys already pulled it a while ago, but yeah, that's the big problem I find with a lot of these YouTubers. They have no idea what normal people are like.
Yeah, true. But to be fair to Joel, I hate that I have to do this. Okay. But to be fair to Joel, his argument is that no one was arguing that having sex with animals was good. What they were attempting to argue.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Right. Was that eating meat has some moral comparability to fucking an animal.
Yes.
And that his critique is that the way that you phrased your tweet, Shoe, is changing the conversation.
Yes, so this is what I mean. His criticism is good. Like, it's not bad. I know you guys like disagree. I think it's an okay video. Like, it really does point out how things can get twisted and go crazy on Twitter, and now everybody thinks the argument's about animal fucking and everything's a mess now. So I don't think he's wrong. It's just that I just made a joke, and it's like
right. But that's where if his critique was that you changed the subject of the tweet unintentionally, then I would agree with that. Where I disagree is that he was sort of making it out like that you were doing this intentionally for some reason, for some nefarious plot almost. Yes.
Hyperbole.
He was like mind reading your motivations here. When obviously you were just responding to some context in your mind about like, well, this is what people in this sphere always argue about, and I'm just joking. I'm making a joke about the insanity of these arguments or how the arguments look to normal people, which he didn't understand that context.
And like people in left Twitter and SockDem Twitter were like, oh, this is a banger, like this is funny, like because they all know
right.
That's the meme. Everyone, like, you know, like the Destiny community, the Vosh community, the left in general, were always debating these crazy topics, and that's the whole joke. So I don't know, I didn't mean it anything other than that. So it was like crazy to see it spiral. Yeah.
Maybe letting everyone have an opinion was a bad idea. Free speech was a mistake.
True.
Imagine being...
And also, like, a lot of these responses are like joke standard.
I was about to say, how do we tell?
How
do you tell the difference when? Because like that, I would have interpreted all these as fun memes. Like, and then if someone was like, "No, these are harmful," I'd be like, "Oh."
Like, I'm pretty sure when the person says free speech was a mistake, is not serious. That's just a joke. You know? I'm pretty sure
that before,
they could have been. You never know these days.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. You don't know.
Publicly this passionate about horse fucking. I may not agree with you politically, but I swear you have some of the weirdest people that post on your threads, and I thank you for opening my eyes to how fucked up some people in this country really are. Shoe is the good guy, the reasonable, common sense.
Never in my life,
the normal person. Look at this.
Have I made myself try to look like the good, reasonable, normal guy? I always like this is the part of the video that made me mad because like I always put myself down. I always say that I'm like mentally ill and crazy, and
as we heard several times in this
video, like
dumb,
and
all kinds
shit
of things.
And whatever.
Yeah.
So like I never posture myself as this like good guy, normal on a pedestal thing. So this is what pissed me off about the video. It's like, where is this coming from? I'm not trying to make myself look better. I'm literally just like joking about the discourse. So I don't know.
She comes in to save the day right here. Look at this.
Yeah.
The normal girl's here to save the
Yeah.
The very normal.
Do you consider this an accurate representation of you, this little drawing?
You know, it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty wholesome.
I could see so, it. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Though sorry about you lost 2 fingers, I guess.
Yeah.
You didn't have any shoes either. So.
No
there were
shoes.
some people in the comments of this video that were like, it's kind of sexist the way you drew her. Like they were being dead ass. They were like, oh, this is really sexist of you, Joel, the way you drew her and like bimbofied her. But I don't think so. Like it's
wait, bimbofied?
Yeah, and some of the pictures. Yeah,
this is like kidified.
Not this one, but they do some like,
okay.
They give me boobs or whatever. So, but I don't agree with that like at all. Like I think these drawings are cute.
Well,
I like them.
I think that'd only be valid criticism if you were drawn this way, but the art style for everyone else was not. Different. It was like normal, and then it'd be like, oh, that's that's pretty offensive.
Yeah, so I definitely don't agree with that.
Sense figure. In order to sustain that narrative, a harmful political other needs to be invented. There is something inherently wrong here.
Oh my, there she is.
Yeah, there.
There's the shoe, the Twitter bimbo. There it is.
Yeah.
Twitter bimbo shoe coming in
so
hot.
So he's like, I gotta invent a guy or whatever. Like, yes, that is the joke. It is the straw man of this discourse. The joke is that it is an exaggerated, stupid straw man of the entire discourse. Oh, sorry.
It hurts my political side. That's not funny.
I was gonna say, surely he's done this in the past, right? We all have.
I don't know.
I don't know.